Hey, everybody. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Well, today we're tackling Spanish vowels.
Ooh!
Yeah, and we're going way beyond just the basics today. We're using English and Spanish vowel differences, a pronunciation guide, to really kind of...
I love that guide.
Yeah, it's a good one. It really helps unlock some seriously cool techniques for mastering these sounds, even if you've struggled before.
Right.
And the cool thing is...
Yeah.
We're not just going to cover the what's, like how to make the sounds,
Right.
but also the why behind those differences between English and Spanish vowels. What do you think?
I think that's a great point. I think that understanding the why, like you said, the underlying structure of the Spanish vowel system is really key to unlocking that ha moment, where it all clicks for people.
Okay, so let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
Good news is Spanish keeps things refreshingly simple with just 5 vowel sounds.
I love that.
That's way fewer than English.
Way fewer.
And guess what?
What?
No tricky diphthongs.
Right.
No nicky schwas.
Nope.
And no confusing vowel length changes based on stress.
It's beautiful.
Every vowel gets equal airtime. Pronounce it clearly and you got it.
That's right. I think it's like a breath of fresh air for English speakers who are used to navigating a much more complex vowel landscape.
Oh, for sure. So if I'm understanding this correctly, once I nail these 5 sounds, I'm essentially unlocking the pronunciation of any Spanish word.
Yes.
That's a pretty powerful idea.
It is. It is. That's where the concept of pure vowels comes in.
Okay, pure vowels. What is that?
Yeah, and it's not about like some kind of mystical purity or anything. It's about consistency.
Okay.
So in Spanish, each vowel letter represents one and only one sound.
Okay, so give me an example. I'm a visual learner.
Sure.
So help me paint a picture in my mind.
Okay. So think of the word papa in Spanish.
Papa.
Which means father.
Oh, father. Okay.
Both A's are pronounced with the same clear A sound.
Okay.
There's no variation, no reduction.
Right.
Like you'd find in the English word banana, where the first and last A's almost disappear.
Oh. That's so different from how we do it in English.
Right.
Wow, this pure vowel thing really makes a difference.
It does.
Especially when you consider how inconsistent English spelling can be.
Right, like sometimes one vowel can have like 5 different pronunciations.
Totally.
It's crazy.
Okay, this is all starting to make sense.
Good.
But my brain is already starting to think,
yeah,
how am I going to remember all of this?
Right.
You got any techniques to help me lock these sounds in?
Yeah. I think visualization is a fantastic tool.
Oh, sure.
So I want you to picture the 5 Spanish vowels. So E, I, O arranged in a simple chart in your mind with a corresponding Spanish word for each one.
It's a cheat sheet.
Yeah, like a little mental cheat sheet.
I can totally do that.
Yeah.
I picture casa, house.
Perfect.
For E, maybe pez, fish.
Yeah.
And for I, how about vino, wine?
Those are great choices.
Easy to visualize.
Yeah.
What about the others?
So you can make those connections even stronger by associating each vowel with a key word in English.
Okay.
So for O, think O.
Oh.
And for O, as in moon.
Moon.
So these key words are like anchors.
Okay.
Helping you recall the correct pronunciation instantly.
That's brilliant. I could already feel these vowels sticking in my brain.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Okay, so we got visualization.
Yep.
We got keywords. Anything else?
Absolutely. To really fine-tune your ear and pronunciation, we're going to use what are called minimal pairs.
Minimal pairs. I'm intrigued. Break it down for me.
Okay. So minimal pairs are words that differ by just one sound.
Okay.
And in our case, that sound is going to be a vowel.
Right.
So take pez.
Pez.
Which means fish.
Okay, pez.
Fish. And paz.
Which means peace.
Paz, peace. So by focusing on that tiny difference between the E and a sound, you train your ear and your tongue to really distinguish them.
Ah, I see. It's like a sonic workout for my mouth.
Exactly.
This is going beyond just knowing the sounds in isolation.
Right.
Okay, so we've got our visual chart, our handy keywords, and our sonic workout with minimal pairs.
Right.
What else can we do to make sure these sounds stick?
I think just don't underestimate the power of repetition.
Oh, repetition. Like practice, practice, practice.
Exactly. Find opportunities to practice, even just for a few minutes each day.
Okay.
Consistency is key.
Practice makes perfect, right?
That's right.
But I have to admit, sometimes it feels like my tongue has a mind of its own.
Yeah.
Wanting to slip back into those familiar English vowel sounds.
It's very normal. That's completely normal.
Okay, good.
Remember, you essentially retraining your muscle memory to produce these new sounds. It takes time and effort.
Okay, so how can I make this practice more engaging? I don't want it to feel like a chore.
I think a good way is to try incorporating Spanish music and podcasts into your routine.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, so you'll be immersed
Okay.
in the beautiful sounds of the language.
Right.
And you'll start to internalize those vowel sounds naturally.
That's a great idea.
Huh.
It's like sneaking in language practice.
Exactly.
While enjoying myself.
That's the best way to do it.
And speaking of enjoyment,
Yeah.
I've heard that mastering Spanish vowels can actually make you a better English speaker.
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that true?
It absolutely is.
Wow.
By understanding how Spanish vowels differ from English vowels,
Yeah.
you heighten your awareness of all vowel sounds.
So it's like fine-tuning my ear
Yes.
for detail.
Precisely.
Okay.
You'll start to notice subtle nuances
Yeah.
in pronunciation that you might have missed before.
Right?
Both in English and Spanish.
Wow, I never thought about it like that.
It's true.
Learning Spanish vowels is like unlocking a whole new level of awareness.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
You improve your Spanish pronunciation,
Right.
and you become a more attuned listener and speaker in English as well.
Okay, so we've covered the pure vowels,
Mm-hmm.
the minimal pairs,
Yes.
the power of practice.
Yep.
Before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I'm curious about something our source mentioned. Diphthongs,
Uh-huh.
they exist in Spanish, right?
They do.
But apparently they're much less common
Way less common.
than in English.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
once I have the 5 pure vowels down,
Mm-hmm.
tackling diphthongs should be a breeze.
Exactly. They'll practically fall into place once you have that solid foundation.
Music to my ears.
Good. I'm good.
Start to feel like I can conquer
Yeah.
those Spanish vowels.
Got this.
What about other resources? Is there anything out there
Oh,
that
yeah.
can help make this process even smoother?
Absolutely. So familiarizing yourself with the International Phonetic Alphabet,
Okay.
or IPA chart,
IPA chart.
can be incredibly helpful.
What is that?
It's a visual representation of all the sounds used in human language,
Oh, wow.
including Spanish.
So it's like a universal language.
Yeah, kind of like a universal language for sounds.
For sounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
So by learning the IPA symbols for Spanish vowels,
Ah,
you'll have a clear understanding of how each sound should be articulated.
right.
It takes away the guesswork.
That makes a lot of sense. Are there any websites or apps
Oh, yeah, there are a ton.
you recommend?
Yeah, so for practicing with the IPA,
Okay.
2 of my favorites are Sounds Right
Sounds right.
and Forvo,
Forvo.
and they let you hear native speakers pronounce Spanish words and phrases.
Oh, cool.
So you can really fine-tune your ear and pronunciation.
Those sound great. I can already picture myself using those to
Yeah.
practice those minimal pairs that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, and beyond the practical side,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's something really beautiful about exploring the intricacies of language.
I agree. It's fascinating.
It really is. You know, language is a window into a culture's soul.
Yeah.
And I think understanding the nuances of pronunciation helps us appreciate the beauty and complexity of human expression.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Thank you.
Well, it looks like we've reached the end of our deep dive into Spanish vowels.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It really does. So any final words of wisdom?
Yes. Remember, mastering Spanish vowels is a journey.
Okay.
Enjoy the process, embrace the challenges,
Okay.
and celebrate every small victory.
Yes. And never underestimate the power of your own
Exact.
curiosity and dedication.
That's right.
With persistence and a willingness to explore,
Yes.
you can unlock the secrets of Spanish pronunciation
Absolutely.
and experience the joy of connecting with another culture through its language.
Well said.
I think that's a perfect note to end on.
I agree.
So to all our listeners out there,
Keep practicing.
keep practicing,
Keep exploring.
keep that curiosity alive.
Keep that curiosity alive.
And until next time, adios. Yeah, I think you just touched on something really important there.
What's up?
It's not just about getting the sounds right.
Right.
It's about connecting with
Yeah.
the soul of the language.
Absolutely. And I think that connection starts with understanding how sounds work together to create meaning.
Right.
It's about recognizing those
Yeah.
subtle distinctions that make each language unique.
That's what makes language learning so fascinating.
Right.
Like it's opening a door to a whole new way of
Yes.
experiencing the world.
I couldn't agree more. And I think the beautiful thing about Spanish vowels is they offer a really clear pathway into that world.
Okay.
They're the building blocks of the language.
Yeah.
And once you master them, everything else starts to kind of fall into place.
So where do we go from here? We've got our techniques, our
Yeah.
resources.
Right.
What's the best way to put all this into practice?
Right. Well, I think the key is to make practice a habit,
Okay.
even if it's just for a few minutes each day.
Right.
Listen to Spanish music,
Uh-huh.
watch movies,
Okay.
try to speak with native speakers whenever you get the chance.
Right.
The more you immerse yourself in the language,
Yeah.
the more natural those vowel sounds will become.
It's all about consistency
Exactly.
and finding ways to make it fun.
Yes. And don't be afraid to experiment.
Okay.
Try singing along to your favorite Spanish songs,
Uh-huh.
mimicking the sounds you hear in movies,
Right.
even recording yourself speaking,
Yeah.
and listening back to identify areas for improvement.
Those are great tips. I'm already feeling more confident.
Good. I'm
excited to
Yeah.
continue my Spanish language journey.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. Remember, learning a new language is a journey, not a destination.
Yeah.
There will be challenges along the way.
Oh, for sure.
The rewards are immeasurable.
Well, I think that's a perfect note to end on.
I agree.
Mastering Spanish vowels
Yeah.
is about more than just pronunciation.
Right.
It's about opening yourself up to new experiences.
Absolutely.
New connections, a whole new way of seeing the world.
Beautifully said.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Of course, it was my pleasure.
Into the world of Spanish vowels.
It was fun.
Until next time, adios.